Today we are making a video on mxlinux 23 release candidate 2. So I already made a release candidate 1 video like 2 days back. So if you want to check that out, you can check that out, which is available right now in my channel. So that was a KDE Plasma desktop environment. So this should be Xfce desktop environment. I didn't read any release note or anything, so it's a suspense to me that what are the new changes or all the things. So let's explore. So let's first quickly boot it in a live boot, which is mx23 RC2. As you can see, the date is July 15, 2023. So there are also like options in the boot menu like F1, F2 for language, and F3 for time zone. You can choose your time zone right here. I'm choosing Los Angeles. F4 for options, F5 for persist, F6 for failsafe, and F7 for console. So these are all the available options. You can test other also like a check integrity, VirtualBox, boot from hard disk, memory test, switch to group bootloader. These are all the other options. So let's quickly boot it in a live boot first. So this is a release candidate and it's based on Debian 12 bookworm, I guess. So I don't even know what the release notes or release announcement. So let's first quickly boot it and let's explore in their website and see what are the new changes here. So again, I'm running it on a virtual machine, which is a VMware. So with 80 GB of hard disk, 4 GB of RAM, and with 2 processors, and I'm having a CPU of like a 12 Gen i5. So usually it should take like a maximum of 1 minute or minimum of 30 to 40 seconds to boot up the device or desktop. So it should be different for every Linux, not the Linux. It should be different for the every other PC. So the code name for MX23 RC2 is a Libretto. So I already made a lot of videos on the mxlinux 23 or other older versions. So if you want to check that out, you can check that out in my channel. You just type in like a search term mxlinux in my channel, and you should be seeing a tons of videos because I covered like 2000 videos in my channel of every different types of Linux distro. So I'm going to show you everything from the installation, downloading process, features, desktop features, all the things. So let's first change the display resolutions. So this is a good thing in VMware, it automatically changes the display resolution. You need to change it on your own. If you want to change it, you just right click and go to the settings, and you should be seeing like a display, and change your display resolution to your desired options. So this is the welcome screen. You can directly install from here, and the live user and password is here, demo, DEMO for the password, and the super user is a root and the password is also root. So it's always a good option to remember these things because it should after opening some of the apps, you should be asked with this type of credentials. You need to provide these things. So the version is 23. It's based on Debian 12 bookworm, I already mentioned. It's supported until June 2028, so that's a good thing to use. So desktop Xfce 4.18.1, I already mentioned. I made a release candidate 1 of KDE Plasma, and this is the release candidate 2 of Xfce. So here is about, let's get back, and here is a quick full system report, like a complete information of the distro. The kernel is a 6.1.0 or 6.1.37. It's a 64-bit architecture, GCC 12.2.0. Desktop environment already mentioned, GTK version is 3.24.36. So it's based on Debian 12. So the code name is Libretto, the date is here. I'm running it on a VMware, so it says as a VMware in the machine. Here is my CPU full information. So under the graphics, here are some of the options or the information. Display is a X11 server, Xorg is 1.21.1.7. XFWM version is a 4.18.0. So the OpenGL version is a 4.3. Mesa is a 22.3.6. Let's scroll it down. I'm using a 80 GB of hard disk for my VMware already mentioned. So here it is. So this is the information. If you want to see other information, you just need to check this button or check in the box. You should be seeing the information. So let's close this thing and open the task manager so we can see how much of resources it consumes. So I need to open the system monitor in the beginning, but there are all the pop-ups like a welcome screen, all these things. So no problem. We didn't open that many of apps or anything which consumes resources. So these are all the resources right now. The CPU is running a bit almost like a 30%, 40%. It's not a bit stable, but you can go with like a 30% or 40%. And the process running right now are 283. Memory is almost 30%, which is 1.1 GB. So these are all the same numbers in every Xfce desktop environment, whatever the Linux distro it is. If it's a Xfce desktop environment, these are the numbers which usually see in every Linux distro in the beginning of the when you power it on the Linux distro. It will be like a 1.1 GB or around 900 MB. This is the resources consuming in the Xfce. Because Xfce, LXQT and LXD, these are all the lightweight desktop environment. So these are all the same numbers. If you go with the LXQT or LXD, and the numbers will be like a 600 MB of memory. So that's the common numbers you will see in the that desktop environment and Xfce desktop environment also. So the version is a 1.5.5. So I'm going to put the task manager in the right side corner, so throughout the video, so you can see how much of resources every app will consume. So let me open the terminal, Xfce terminal, and type in few commands. We already have all the information of the distro, but I need to show some of the information like inxi small b. So again, these are all the same information, nothing changed as the above. inxi-g cat:/etc/issue. Let's type in neofetch. Neofetch is also pre-installed. inxi-sv8. This is the complete distro information in just a single command. So let's type in headstop last. So here is our headstop. We got all the information. I didn't go through all these things because it's going to take a lengthy video. So that's the reason. If you want, you can just pause the video and check out all the information there. I already showed you in the welcome screen that the quick system information there. So no need to show all the information again. So keep an eye on the CPU and RAM. So let's open the internet browser, which is a Firefox web browser, which is common in every Linux distro. So it's going to take a few seconds there. So let's close and let's go and check out the release notes if it's available in the official website. So the mxlinux 1.0, the version is 115 for the Firefox web browser. So this is the official website, or just type in mxlinux in the official website. So there is a release note here. A major issue with the installer was found on the shipping ISOs. So these are all the new things. There is nothing more change here. The versions of the desktop environment is Xfce should be 4.18, but we have like a 4.18.1. So the main version should be 4.18, and you should be seeing like a point updates. So the Fluxbox 1.3.7, KDE Plasma, I already made a video on it. So if you want to check that out, you can check that out in my channel. So these are all the things changed here. Timeshift will not recognize Btrfs partitions. So if you want to go through all these things, you can go through on your own, because I don't want to make it a lengthy video. There is nothing changed here, just a few things, not a major things, just basic things. So you can download the Xfce version, KDE Plasma or the Fluxbox, whatever you want to choose, you can choose. Under the Xfce, you will get like a 32-bit and 64-bit and the AHS. So under the KDE Plasma, you just get the 64-bit architecture. Under the Fluxbox, you get 32-bit and 64-bit. So it's clearly up to you to choose whatever the architecture you want here. So it says the testing file could not be found or it's not available. Please select another file. When I downloaded it, it was available like it was uploaded like 10 minutes ago. So we don't know if it's still available or not. Let's find out. Let's go to the testing. So these are all available: Fluxbox, Xfce and KDE. Let's go to the Xfce and find. So the ISO file is available right here, as you can see, 4 hours ago, 3 hours ago. Just click on the download, 32-bit or 64-bit, choose anything you want. It's going to take a few seconds and the download should be triggered. Here it is, a 2 GB of file size, and the 64-bit architecture should be like a 2.8 GB. So that's the downloading process. I think let's go to the installer. I'm not going to install it. I'm just going to show you some basic thing. That's it. Let's click on escape to skip this thing. So again, these are all the same basic things in every mxlinux, so nothing to show you here. So there is nothing complicated here. You just need to select your hard disk. If you want to install it on your main PC, it's not a good option to install it right now because it's a release candidate. There is no bugs right now, but we don't know properly. So it's always a good option to download and install the stable version on your main PC. So if you want to test it, you can test it on like a virtualization, VirtualBox, VMware, like that things, or the PC which you don't use for work. So you can choose that type of PC for installation. So or else you can just live boot and use it for a few hours and just shut it down. So again, try to remember this thing. Whatever you save in the live boot, it's going to delete or erase everything as soon as you shut it down. So remember this thing. So if you want to install, you can choose your hard disk and click on next. You should be seeing the username, password like that, and it should be installed in like a few minutes. So that's the installation process. So let's close this thing. So let's open some of the applications and see how good the Linux distro will handle. So let's open like a 10 to 12 apps and see how good this Linux distro will handle some of the apps. Let's open Appearance and like something like a big resource consuming apps. Document Scanner. On the internet we already saw. Let's open Thunderbird. Under the system, time shift, about Xfce. It is pretty much opening the apps a bit faster, not instantly, but okay. Keep an eye on the CPU and RAM here. I think RAM is almost 1.7 GB and CPU is around like 70 to 60%. The password should be demo. Let's type in that. I think we have opened like one. Did we open the file manager? It's open. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We opened like 8 apps. So let's quickly open some of the other apps too. Under system, let's open gparted, and also the disk usage analyzer. Under settings, there is nothing important in the settings, so just a keyboard, mouse, these are all the normal things. So let's open the mx tweak. Under mx tools, nothing important, so let's ignore that thing and go to the multimedia. Let's open the VLC media player. I think we are like 10 apps or 11 apps right now. Let's open the nothing here, so we already opened Thunderbird. Under the graphics, LibreOffice also opened. Under the games, nothing to open. Development, so that's it. So let's type in the password for the what it is, gparted. So let's see the task manager right now. It's almost like a 2 GB of RAM, still good. And as you can see, there is a bit of high peak and low peak. There is no stable graph here in the CPU, so it's clearly up to you to choose this Linux distro or not. So I'm not going to recommend this Linux distro right now because it's in a release candidate still. Only if you want to test it, it's up to you. So these are all the resources after opening like 10 to 12 apps, as you can see here. So let's quickly check the version and close all the apps. gparted 1.3.1, VLC media player 3.0.18. let's close this thing. mx tweak, you can tweak it or customize anything you want here. You can do that, all the things. Let's check about version. Here is the version. Let's close this thing also. Let's check the LibreOffice version. It is 7.4.5.1. let's even close this thing also. Exit LibreOffice. Device and location. Disk usage analyzer 43.0. So mx tools. So these are all the types of shortcuts here. So if you want to customize, we can customize. So I'm not going to show you that because it's going to make a lengthy video. So let's just skip that part. The version for Thunderbird is 102.13.0. So about Xfce is here. Document scanner. Version is 42.5. And here are the themes. These are all the customization things, so it's clearly up to you to customize anything you want. So I'm just going to skip this part. About Xfce and the file manager, which should be Tuner 4.18.4. just one app is right here. So there is no Btrfs right here, just RS YNC is available. Click on next or finish. So let's check the version. Here is the version. So I think that's it for the video, I guess. So there is nothing major features or the major changes, so I'm just going to end the video. So these are all the resources right now after opening and using all the apps. So let's find some other features like desktop wallpapers and some of the desktop features and end the video. So these are all the wallpapers. I don't know whether it's new wallpapers are added or not. So you should be easily identify the changes, because I'll be making 2 videos daily, so I'll be constantly using every Linux distro daily, so it's pretty much very hard to remember everything. So the people who are running mxlinux older version should be easily catch what are the changes available here or the wallpapers added. So they should be finding everything which is changed. So the people who know what are the things are changed here, just comment down below what are the things changed. so others will be having an idea of what are the new changes. So this is again the volume, internet connection, like a clipboard, packages, about, mx updater, removable disk, power option, and the application menu. These are all the same things. So I think pretty much showed everything, I guess. So that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. It helps make a good content for you. Other than that, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace out. So there is already a video available. So if you want to check that out, you can check that out, which is a Debian, not the Debian. It's a Linux Mint Cinnamon version 21.2. There are already videos of Xfce and Mat desktop environment of Linux Mint 21.2 from the yesterday's video. So if you want to check that out, you can check that out. Again, thanks for watching. Peace out.